Hi, it's Karen with Black Swan Journals, and today I thought we could make a quick, simple, whimsical, very easy watercolor holiday or Christmas card with a simple red ball and some simple supplies. I'm using some watercolors here that are very inexpensive. That one's actually the one they pass out in school to children, the Prang set. And then this other set I got at Hobby Lobby. It's called Koi by Sakura, and you could really use any watercolors you have. And I'm just taking a piece of craft cardstock here. No cutting, just simply fold it right in half, and you've got a card base, a nice large greeting card base. And here I took some scrap paper that I had at home. I wrote all the measurements up there by my little dove. Really, really simple. Just fold the cardstock in half. The next piece I just cut to 5 by 8, and then the very top piece is just 4 by 6. And if you don't have scrap paper, you could probably get free digitals right online and print them out at home. I know the Graphics Fairy has free paper. I'm sure there's other websites too if you just put in, like free printables or royalty free or something like that. Christmas background papers or holiday background or winter background papers. Or if you'd like to support someone, there's many, many makers online who would sell some pretty papers too, digitally, to print out. So here I'm just very simply, you could trace, do you see my water mug up there in the right corner? You could put that on your paper and just trace it and have a nice symmetrically round ball. But I wanted a whimsical look, and I know my circle won't be perfectly circular. If you want yours more circular, just find the right size object, a jar or something like that, or a cup or a mug, and just trace around it. So here I go over it with a permanent marker, something that's permanent, so when you introduce water later, the ink from the pen doesn't run, something like a Sharpie or a Micron pen. It's not perfectly circular, but that's okay. I wanted sort of that whimsical look, almost like, Charlie Brown kind of Christmas Peanuts look. Just wanted something very simple and casual. So now I'm drawing down what resembles a little string and the little metal clasp that goes on the top of ornaments. Just a simple rectangle, a simple little upside down letter U there for the hook. And now I'm just writing little lines up and down to simulate the little metal grooves that would be in the little clasp on top of the ball. Couldn't be easier. Now I'm erasing my pencil marks and getting ready to paint. I thought I might add that word peace, but in the end I didn't really love how it came out, so I just kept the card really simple. But you could certainly do something like that, a simple statement, draw some puffy letters, or just regular letters with your Sharpie type pen, and you don't even have to watercolor it. But if you wanted to, you could draw some puffy letters and watercolor a sentiment or a greeting or a word for the year that maybe you'd want people to think about and take into their heart. So I basically just used the reds right from the palettes here. I really didn't even mix colors, but I did use both reds from each palette just to sort of give it a little bit of some different hue. And I dried it once and kept on adding color a second time until I liked the darkness of it or the brightness of it. Now I'm just removing a little bit of color with a dry brush here. I want to soak up some wet color here to create a little bit of a highlight on the upper right part of the Christmas ornament. And just adding a little bit of color around the edges, keeping that top right without any color to create a highlight, a little bit of a highlight. It's so relaxing to watercolor. I just find it so relaxing. Sometimes I just want to keep going. So I soften around. I just give it a little soften there on the edges with the brush, a little massage with the lines just to give it a little bit of a blend. And now I set it aside to dry. And then I take some scissors and fussy cut it out of the watercolor paper. And there it is. Super simple. I decided I want to add a little bit of gold. You could stop here though and just call it. Write a nice message inside and give it to somebody you love. But I decided I want to add a little bit of gold. This is just really inexpensive craft paint here. You could use something nicer, but I had this on hand. And I just wanted to give a little metallic gold color to the clasp piece on top of the ball. And then I decide to go around the edges of the entire card just on the craft base part of the card, just to give it a little bit of extra holiday glitz and glamour, even though it's whimsical and simple. I love it. And just play around, have fun, enjoy yourself. And you don't need to know how to draw. It couldn't be easier. It's really just like a simple stick figure drawing. And it gives such a casual feel and vibe and puts a smile on my face. So now I glue it down and the card is finished. I set it aside to dry and then I'm ready to give it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.